Hello, my book and wax friends. I am Amber. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. I post about all things books and home fragrance, and today's video is my holiday TBR. So these are books that I'm hoping to read this season. Stay tuned for my TBR jar video where I will choose from these books, hopefully, to pick the books that will be on my official TBR. But either way, I'm a mood reader as well, and this will give me a lot of options. And maybe you'll find a book in this that interests you too. So I remembered my glasses just in case I need them to read. Let's jump into it. There's quite a bit. So the first one I have is called Winter Frost, and sorry for the glare. I do have to use the ring light today because it is cloudy out. So Winter Frost is by Michelle Hautz. And this is a middle grade, and the synopsis is, what should have been an ordinary Danish Christmas for 12-year-old Bettina Larsen and her baby sister, Pia, quickly turns extraordinary when unexpected events take their parents away for a few days, leaving Bettina in charge of the house, the barn, and baby Pia. In all the confusion, Bettina's family neglects to set out the traditional bowl of Christmas rice pudding for the tiny Nisei. Possibly, I could be butchering how you pronounce that. A gnome-like creature who's rumored to look after the family and their livestock. But no one besides her grandfather, Farfar, ever believed the Nisei were real. So what harm could be in forgetting this silly custom? But for one young and impetuous Nisei, the lack of rice pudding is a very big deal. And when baby Pia disappears during an afternoon nap, Bettina finds herself trying to appease a Nisei she's not even sure she believes exists. With her parents' return looming, Bettina must do everything she can to get her sister back and set things right, even if it means entering the magical world of the Nisei. So that looks really cute. So middle grade, that seems like it'll be fun. Next, I have some classics. The first one is called A Child's Christmas in Wales by Dylan Thompson. And as you can see, tiny little book. I've heard such good things about this one, and so I for sure wanted to get to it. I should be able to with how little it is. So this says, a lost but not forgotten childhood is evoked in this nostalgic recollection that endures as one of the most beloved Christmas stories of all time. So yeah, I don't know much more than that, but I've heard it's really good. So I've wanted to get to it. The next one is The Nutcracker by Alexander Dumas. If you watched my wrap up for what I read in October, I did finally finish The Count of Monte Cristo. It took me a few months, but I did finish it. And so I was like, let's continue the Alexander Dumas reads and read The Nutcracker. So of course I'm familiar with the play, but it'll be interesting to see how this version is in regards to that. So I'm excited for that one. And then this one is on my it's on my fourth quarter predictions for 5 stars. I started it last year, and then I had to return it to the library, and so I couldn't finish it. And that is Letters from Father Christmas by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm excited to finish this one. It was giving me 5-star feels from everything I had read so far, but look at this. So this is actually letters that Tolkien wrote to his children as Father Christmas. And there's a lot of whimsy and magic and illustrations that he made. So I'm so excited for that one for sure. Okay, the next one, I have a couple of novellas. The first one is A Holiday by Gaslight by Mimi Matthews. It's a Victorian Christmas novella. And this one I will need to put my glasses on. A courtship of convenience, Sophie Apperset is quite willing to marry outside of her class to ensure the survival of her family. But the darkly handsome Mr. Edward Sharp is no run-of-the-mill London merchant. He's grim, he's silent, a man of little emotion, or perhaps no emotion at all. After 2 months of courtship, she's ready to put an end to things. But severing ties with her taciturn beau isn't as straightforward as Sophie envisioned. Her parents are outraged, and then there's Charles Darwin, Prince Albert, and that dratted Gaslight. What's a girl to do except invite Mr. Sharp to Apperset House for Christmas and give him one last chance to win her? Only this time, there'll be no false formality. This time, they'll get to know each other for who they really are. So, I loved this one. This one I picked up. It was a cover buy for sure. Look how Christmassy that is. I love it. Okay, the next couple are ones that are kind of have fantastical elements to it. This is another novella. This is called The 12 Days of Fairy Christmas by C.J. Brightly. And I've heard it's going to be a hoot, a romp for sure. When Charlotte meets mysterious Roman, her comfortable life is upended in a confusion of magic, monsters, and birds, lots of birds. But Roman's increasingly ridiculous gifts are the least of her concerns. The spell connecting them is ticking like a bomb, and time is running out. So that seems like it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, the next one is Chasing Cheer. This is by Heather Schneider, and the glasses need to go back on. So this says, when Holly Claus visits a small town in Oregon on one of her normal cheer collecting missions, she never imagines that everything she knew about holiday cheer would be thrown out the sleigh. Holly has always been efficient in her work of traveling around the world, collecting cheer to power the North Pole and its dream-making operations there. But she's never been quite good at collecting it as her father was, and she'll do anything to figure out why, including blending in a small town full of cheer. So this is a fantastical romance. I've heard it's super cute, so I'm excited to hopefully get to that one. Okay, the next one, I've never tried a book by this author. This is The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan, but look at this cover. This was one of the reasons I had to get it. Plus, it's a book about books, so that's another reason why I had to pick it up. But I know she is really well known for writing Christmas books, so I'm excited to jump into it. Laid off from her department store job, Carmen has perilously little cash and few options. The prospect of spending Christmas with her perfect sister Sophia in Sophia's perfect house with her perfect children and her perfectly ordinary or ordered yuppie life does not appeal. Frankly, Sophia doesn't exactly want her prickly sister there either. But she has yet another baby on the way, a mother who is desperate to see her daughters get along, and a client who needs help revitalizing his shabby old bookshop. So Carmen moves in and takes the job. Thrown rather suddenly into the inner workings of Mr. McCready's ancient bookshop on the picturesque streets of historic Edinburgh, Carmen is intrigued despite herself. The store is dusty and disorganized, but undeniably charming. Can she breathe some new life into it in time for the Christmas shopping? What will happen when a famous and charismatic author takes a sudden interest in the bookshop and in Carmen? And will the Christmas spirit be enough to help heal Carmen's fractured family? So it seems like it's more women's fiction than romance, but that it'll have a smidge of romance in it as well. The next one is by Catherine Walsh, and it is holiday romance. And it says she's meant to be catching flights, not catching feelings. I've heard really good things about this one, and the glasses need to go back on. Molly and Andrew are just trying to get home to Ireland for the holidays when a freak snowstorm grounds their flight. Nothing romantic has ever happened between them. They're friends, and that's all. But once a year for the last 10 years, Molly has spent 7 hours and 15 minutes sitting next to Andrew on the last flight before Christmas from Chicago to Dublin, drinking terrible airplane wine and catching up on each other's lives. In spite of all the ways the two friends are different, it's the holiday tradition neither of them has ever wanted to give up. Molly isn't that bothered by Christmas, but yet in another way, they're total opposites. Andrew is full-on fanatic for the festive season, and she knows how much getting back to Ireland means to him. So instead of doing the same thing and just celebrating the holidays together in America, she does the stupid thing, the irrational thing. She vows to get him home and in time for his mam's famous Christmas dinner. So a little bit like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, except the romance version of that. So like I said, I've heard really good things about that one. Okay, the next one is called The Holiday Mix-Up. This is by Jenny Baird. I don't know, this is inspired by While You Were Sleeping is what I heard, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies. So I'm excited to get to this one, hopefully. Lonely-hearted waitress Katie Smith has a huge holiday crush on her gorgeous diner patron, Juan Martinez. So when Juan asks Katie to pose as his girlfriend for Christmas dinner at his family's winery, Katie leaps at the chance. That is, until an accident lands Juan in a coma right after giving his folks the news. Now Katie's in a jam. Juan has sworn her to secrecy about their fake dating deal, and she can't betray an injured man. And then there's Juan's brother, Mateo, whose smile tugs at her heartstrings just right, while perfect Juan might not be everything he seems. When their family embraces her warmly, Katie can't help dreaming of being in Mateo's arms instead of only pretending with Juan. So, definitely sounds like While You Were Sleeping. That seems like it'll be cute. Okay, the next one is called The Merry Matchmaker. This is by Sheila Roberts, and it is inspired by Jane Austen's Emma, which is my favorite book by Jane Austen. So let's see what this one is about. Frankie Lane knows what's best for just about everyone but herself. Her divorced sister, Steph, who is too young to give up on love, her shy employee, Eleanor, and her daughter, Natalie, who works in Frankie's shop. Holiday happiness, and really needs to start her own business selling the delectable chocolates she makes at home. Even her best friend, Viola, who is trying to renovate her old Victorian. Frankie knows she could help all of them if they just let her. And if all of her help, didn't end in utter disaster. Then there's Mitch Howard, the owner of the local hardware store. They've been friends ever since Frankie opened her store 9 years earlier. He got her through the nightmare when she lost her husband in a freak accident, and he's her favorite shoulder to cry on. He's been divorced for years, and is such a waste of a man. Mitch is the fittest, finest man Frankie knows. He's easygoing, wise, and kind-hearted. Mitch needs someone, and she's determined to help him find that someone, whether he likes it or not. So, it seems like it'll be so cute. Love it. Okay, the next one is Christmas with a Crank by Courtney Walsh. I'm sorry for the glare, you guys. I'm excited. I have read a few of Courtney Walsh's books, really enjoyed them. She writes fun, clean romance and romantic comedy and women's fiction, and I'm excited to get to this one. So this one is a second chance with your first crush. Doesn't happen often. For Liam Fisher, that first crush was his next door neighbor, Olive Witherby. Childhood was lazy summers, treehouse stargazing, and endless games of hide and seek at Pine Creek, the Christmas tree farm that's been in Liam's family for generations. When Liam moves away, he and Olive say goodbye, the only way they know how, with a fumbling first kiss neither of them have ever forgotten. Even though 12 years old's promises of keeping in touch feel eternal, time and distance eventually make Olive and Liam practically strangers. 20 years later, Liam's parents announced that they're retiring and selling the tree farm. 20 years later, Pine Creek is the last place grown-up Liam wants to be. Inherit the legacy, not on your life. And 20 years later, grown-up Olive is stuck. Her work life is a lot like her love life, floundering. After a humiliating business failure, loads of debt, and one too many laughable first dates, she's in no hurry to put herself out there again, in business or in romance. When Olive is hired by Liam's parents to rekindle the lost magic of the farm, one final time before it's sold, she sets out to make this the last best Pine Creek Christmas for the town and for the very cranky, not so talkative, surprisingly attractive Liam. Part of her mission? Convince the crank to fall in love with Christmas. The other part? Not fall head over heels in the process. So cute. I'm excited. I haven't read any of her Christmas ones yet, so I'm happy to get to that one. The next one I have is by Mary Kay Andrews, called Bright Lights, Big City. She is also known for writing a lot of Christmas books. I read her The Santa Suit last year and did enjoy it. It wasn't like, wow, this is amazing, but I did enjoy it. I love the found family aspect in it. So let's get to looking at what this one is about. It's a long way from a Christmas tree farm in the mountains of North Carolina to a certain street corner in Greenwich Village. But Carrie Tolliver, newly unemployed and romantically unattached, reluctantly agrees to make the trek to live in a tiny vintage camper with her gruff older brother and his dog Queenie, out of family loyalty, selling Christmas trees at the family stand on a sidewalk in New York City. Carrie is startled to find herself beginning to feel at home in this quirky little corner of the city and succumbing to the charms of Patrick, a single dad, and his adorable dragon-loving son, Austin. When a secretive elderly neighbor goes missing with the holidays fast approaching, Carrie discovers her new friends have become family and maybe more. So that sounds really cute. So, Bright Lights, Big City. Okay, the next one after that, I think she also is this author is one that's written a lot of Christmas books too, but this will be my first experience with her writing, and that is Susan Mallory, Home Sweet Christmas. And this one is until Cameron Neff can return to her real life in Chicago. She's in Wishing Tree to care for her twin sisters. She's not looking for forever love, not here. The handsome hotelier, Jake Crane, is a temptation she can't resist. So she suggests they pair up for the season. No golden rings, no broken hearts. At his side, she sees her hometown through Christmas-colored eyes. The cheer is cheerier, the joy is more joyful. She thought she had put her future on hold, but maybe her real life was here all along, waiting for her to come home. So that seems cute. Hopefully it's not spicy. Like I said, I've never read anything by Susan Mallory, so I'll see if that's going to be too much for me or not. But we'll see. The last one, or second to last one, because I have one that I don't have yet that I wanted to talk about. The next to last one is When Ivy Met Mr. Holiday. This is by Jennifer Peel. The cover is super cute. And this one is Friends Don't Let Friends Fake Date Alone. Oscar Wilde once said, between men and women, there is no friendship possible. There is passion and enmity. I can talk. Worship, love, but no friendship. Ha, wrong, dead wrong, and I can totally prove it. For the last 7 years, I've been just friends with Jack Holiday. Yes, that Jack Holiday, the swoon-worthy, ridiculously famous, self-proclaimed king of the silver screen. Passion, love, worship, please. Unless you count how much Jack worships himself. Take that, Oscar. Okay, have I thought about being more than friends with Jack? Sure. I mean, the man waters my plants, never forgets my birthday, and knows exactly which ice cream to bring me. But when our unlikely friendship began, I swore we'd never cross that line, even if Jack, like Oscar, doesn't believe men and women can be just friends. Then Jack drops a bombshell. He wants to come home with me for the holidays. The guy who's never cared about Christmas suddenly wants to play Mr. Holly Jolly. Worse, he needs me to pretend to be his fake girlfriend to save him from his ex. If that wasn't bad enough, he's laughing with my nieces and nephews, charming my family, and being utterly infuriatingly adorable. So it seems like it'll be cute. Oh, the text in this is very big. Okay, cool, cute, cute, cute. Okay, and then the last one is Holly by Adeline Grace. This is her holiday novella of the Belladonna series. So it's following after everything that happens in the trilogy. So you can't read it unless you've read the series. Otherwise, you'll spoil yourself. But I'm excited to get to this one too. It's supposed to be coming in from the library for me. So I'm hopeful that it'll be adorable. It has pictures in it and all that fun stuff. So that's it, you guys. That is a very ambitious holiday TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these and if you think I should prioritize any of them in regards to which ones to get to. But December, I love just reading holiday books. And so, yeah, that's what my plans are. Let me know what you are planning on reading during the month of December as well. If you do just concentrate on holiday books or you do other things too, what exactly you do. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you made it to the end of this video and you don't feel like chatting in the comments, if you could leave maybe a Christmas tree emoji, because comments do help out my channel for more people to see them. I appreciate you guys. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.